test. Yep. Seems good. Oh, man. Ever since getting this puppy, it feels like I exist in a state of perpetual being tired. I'm either with the puppy and, like, on alert to make sure the puppy doesn't chew on anything he shouldn't step on in anything he shouldn't, or fall or hurt himself or whatever. And then when I'm not around puppy, instantly tired. But I'm not too tired to play the video games. Which is why we're here today, to play King of the Castle. Alright. Last time I played this, my customization got all reset. For some reason, I don't know why. I was so mad. I had to redo everything. I joined someone else's game as a noble, and then when I finally showed up in an event, it's like, wait a minute, that's not my character. Why don't I look like me? Made me very sad. Okay. Alright, of the... What shall the dynasty be this time? What to call the dynasty? This is always the hardest part, you know, coming up with a name. Duh. Let's see if of the Fail Girl Dynasty. Yeah, let's go with that. Alright, play on Twitch. Extensions working. Well, shucks. There's nobody here. Sent out all my announcements. Must be a slow day. Oh well. I'll leave the, Oh, excuse me. I'll leave this up for a little bit, see if anyone tunes in. Let's see, hold on. Grandees are the south. The coast usually takes up, like, would this put the march up in the north, I wonder? Seems like the march is the most flexible. It can just end up anywhere. Well, I won't lie, this is pretty discouraging. Nope. Who knows, Vers? Who knows? Truly, who knows? I think the biggest blunder today is that I bothered streaming. No one's here. I sent out all my announcements, but haven't seen anyone pipe up yet. Maybe I just didn't give enough forewarning. Who knows? Oh, excuse me. I said it earlier, but I really do mean it. Like, I exist in a state of perpetually being tired ever since getting this dog, the new puppy. Speaking of, he just got some of his shots today. So pretty soon we'll be able to let him out of the house and actually, like, take him on walks. Yeah, I can relate to that. Let's see, it hasn't been very long, but I don't know. If not a whole lot of point in playing a party game like this if there's no one to play, you know? So I may have to actually call the stream off if there's just nobody here. I admit, I haven't had the largest audience, but to have, like, downright nobody showing up is a surprise. Yeah, that might be it. Because I know that there are a lot of my friends that are, currently doing their FF14 like static, and they're trying to get through Pandemonium Stage 8. And yeah, Dreamer is doing his Ace Combat stream. Hey, Haro. I appreciate you you tuning in, but unfortunately I don't think we're gonna see a whole. I may have to cancel at least playing this today, just because I haven't had much luck in terms of anyone tuning in, so, and I can't really do a party game like King of the Castle if there's no one around to play with me. So I may have to shut this down and switch games. Could potentially get started on Darksiders 2 or Alien Isolation. Still, I'll admit, I'm a little bummed out. Maybe it's just because I've had some very slow streams with a small audience, but I've yet to. This is the first time I've started up and just had no one here at all. And I know it's just a matter of you know, consistency and just keeping at it until things take off, hoping that they take off really, but it's still discouraging. Oh hey! Hello. How is this pronounced? JF Lanero? Thank you for tuning in. It's a bit of a slow day today. The plan was to play King of the Castle, however, uncommonly low audience. This is a very fun game. It's just I've had a very subject name missing. Yeah, it's a timing thing. Yeah, and I definitely get that. Like, I mentioned it earlier, but like, there's a bunch of my FF14 friends that are all having their static raid day today. I have another friend who's streaming his first run of Ace Combat 7. That's probably drawing from a significant portion of our shared audience. So a lot of my regulars just aren't here today. So I can but try to try and attract you know, new people, but there's only so much I can do. I'm just one gal. So, as always, anyone can join with the ! join followed by your preferred pronoun to hop in as a noble. Haro's a grandee again. Alright, we have at least one noble per team. That's enough. That is enough. Let's go. Anyone can join in at any time as the game is in progress. Okay, so let's see how we're starting out. Alright, so the march is filling up this east side. Oh, south is very tiny down there. The coast is making up like most of the whole fucking kingdom. This feels very unbalanced. I would say like make like this chunk up here part of the march, and maybe put some of like this stuff down here as part of the south. Just even things out a little bit. All right. Anyway, council introduction. Yeah, very tiny south. Worryingly small south. All right. Council introduction. Now that you're the queen, your first duty is to meet with the Council of Nobles. They hail from distant lands across the kingdom, the wealthy coast, the scorching south, and of course, the bleak march. Introduce yourself to the patricians of the coast. A pleasure, your esteemed highness. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under your reign. Yes, yes, thank you, Lord Patrician JF Nero. JF Lanero. I hope I'm getting that right. May the ninth god bless your reign, your majesty. I trust you will conduct yourself with honor and faith. Why, of course, Haro. When have I not? When have I not conducted myself with honor and faith? Hail and well met, your majesty. Under your leadership, we'll whip this kingdom into shape, Of course we will, Vers. That introductions are finished. Council hall immediately fills with raised voices as the nobles argue with each other and demand your favor. You sigh and sit back. Is this what the council is like? No wonder your father told you to avoid the throne at all costs. Alright. Path to victory. Alright. Your Majesty, when you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? Oh, it skips some of the descriptions now if you're a few runs in. Alright. Well, let's see. How do I want to be remembered? I would like to be remembered as a saint. The church will love you, I suspect, but will anyone else? Over the next few years, focus on improving the kingdom's overall faith, as much as possible. Alright, and now the coronation. Your Majesty, I've scheduled coronation to take place in a week's time. Shouldn't I be giving the orders? Of course, Your Majesty. But to delay any longer would make the nobles restless, and when nobles get restless, they take their daggers and look for the nearest back. Well, we wouldn't want that, I suppose. As is tradition, the council will decide what happens at your coronation. Let's get this over with. Shall we call the nobles in? Alright, so the options are: host a lavish parade with jugglers and fountains of wine. This will take 1,000 gold out of the treasury, but raise stability. Option 2. Invite foreign dignitaries and show off your wealth. This will pull 1,800 from the treasury and raise the trade of all regions, as well as give wealth to the nobles. Throw the queen into the river. This will raise stability, but lower authority. Or the troops shall bear the queen through the streets atop a shield, raising military but lowering authority. So starting off, I have veto, which allows me to cross one of these options off the list. And I have monarch's vote, which allows me to add one extra vote to one of the options. Which, considering there's only 3 nobles, this now has a lot of weight. In larger games where there's a significant audience, the one vote that the monarch can add is not a whole lot, but if it's just the 4 of us, that's a 25% increase in power. So, is it too late to join? Never! You can always join. Use the chat code !join followed by your preferred pronoun to hop in. Oh, just he is enough. I'm not sure it'll count if it has... Oh, it did. There you go, you've joined as a grandee. There you are. And there's Haro, JF Lanero, and Vers. Alright. Hoo-hoo! Now it's heating up. Now the grandees have more influence. They have double the voting power of the other factions. Alright. So, what will the coronation be? Personally, I'm not a fan of this idea of inviting foreign dignitaries and showing off wealth. That's pretty dang expensive, don't you think? Alright, so use the code exclamation mark vote, followed by the letter associated with your choice. Of course. Has anything other than throw into the river ever been voted for? Ever? To the surprise of no one, it is decided the queen will be thrown in the river. What kind of coronation is that? Very traditional ceremony, dating back to Queen Alma the Wise. It's meant to represent you being reborn as a true queen. The nobles pick you up and carry you out to the Treadwater River, hurling you into the shallow water with a cheer. You climb back up to the banks, soaking wet. The Chancellor steps forward and places the crown upon your head. Is it your imagination, or some of the nobles' stifling giggles? Alright, that's the 3 events that'll end this season. Victoria, of the Verskull bloodline, charismatic marcher her Hellion, stands before a blazing hearth, roaring with arms outstretched. When have the barons of the March backed down from a fight? Never! I know you'll do whatever it takes to put me, your rightful queen, on the throne. Alright, Vers, decide your scheme. Hey, Belle! Fun fact, there's a tradition where the local governor, or who screwed up the most, gets dunked in a river. I think in Italy. You know, that wouldn't surprise me. Alright, Vers, I'm pretty sure you're the only Baron at the moment, so it's up to you to decide what the scheme will be. Alright, going for propaganda. Barons plan to persuade the population that only a charismatic general can protect them. First, the common folk must be afraid. To advance their scheme, the barons must lower stability to 4 or less in 3 seasons. Oh. Quick, Xebha, what are our stats? Okay, so there are 5 stats for each individual region. Trade, farming, military, and faith, as well as defiance. Defiance represents how pissed off you are at me, and if it ever gets above both of these numbers, possible to get rid of the little pop-up on the side of the screen which is covering our names and stats. No, that is part of the extension that enables the Twitch gameplay. The little pop-up on the will tell you what your current scheme is, and once your scheme is set, it'll tell you how much wealth you have to spend in auctions, as well as what your scheme is. So, unfortunately, you can't really get rid of it. You can click on it to minimize it slightly, but it's always going to be there as long as I have the extension enabled. So, let's see. Barons are starting off pretty well balanced. Also appears in... Yes, it also will appear like in non-King of the Castle streams if it's not disabled. So if you do a lot of different games, it's a good idea to disable it when you're not playing King of the Castle. Hey, Kefli! So Barons have 5 trade, 5 farming, 6 military, and 6 faith. They're pretty well-rounded. 5 is just about the average. Grandees start off with 6 trade and 6 farming, but only 4 military and 7 faith. Meanwhile, the patricians... Yep, I don't see the little extension on my game. Patricians start off with 7 trade, which is very high, but fairly low farming and military, and average faith. And okay, Xenoviva of the Soft Pancakes 42 lineage, powerful southern orator, stands bathed in sunshine, ranting in fury. A false pretender occupies the throne, while my claim is ignored. Grandees of the South, this is a stain on our honor. We must not allow it to go unanswered. All right. Grandees. So that is Haro and Soft Pancakes. Decide on your scheme. Will you go for Witch Hunt with having the highest faith, Fervor by raising your own farming, or Excommunication by lowering stability? Keep in mind, the Barons have already selected lowering stability as their scheme. But you already have the highest faith in the region. No relation, Haro. No relation between me and Xenoviva. Purely a coincidence, I swear. Uh-oh. Voting has closed. I guess I don't get a say in it, so I guess it's set randomly between the tied options. Sorry, Pancakes, you can't change your vote once you've cast it. Grandees must lower stability to 4 or less, so they have the same goal as the Barons. Florian of the Balades 1 family, charismatic Navy Admiral, scribbles with a well-used quill on a hardwood desk, muttering in frustration. Fellow patricians of the coast, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than that of Queen Xebha. Something must be done. Alright, patricians, select a scheme. Subterfuge by lowering stability, Doppelganger by having the lowest defiance, or Corruption by lowering authority. Vote now on your phones. Let's see, it's just... It seems... Go see, it'd be funny. Alright, looks like everyone wants to lower stability. You are united in purpose. The patricians plan to replace the Queen's advisors with their own agents. First, they must prove they're doing a bad job. To advance their schemes, patricians must lower stability to 4 or less within 3 seasons. Alright. So, everyone wants the exact same thing. Everyone wants to lower stability to 4 or less. Oh! Treacherous half-sister. I guess Xenoviva is related to me, actually. Who'da thunk it? Nobles only want one thing, and it's disgusting. Alright. Laws of the land. Iron choice, swing votes. Well, always like iron choice. Okay. A risky wager, the honor guard, and... Hold on, what is this? The monk! Ooh. Look at this. Just gonna kick you off the throne. Nothing personal. You know what? I have to respect it. The honor guard. Good. Oh? A High Inquisitor? What are you doing here? Isn't the Marshal supposed to be here for this event? Good news, Your Majesty. I have received a vision. I saw you bathed in holy light, blades and missiles crumbling to dust before they could reach you. You don't need to recruit an honor guard. The 9th god will shield you from harm. I've never seen the 9th protect someone from a sword through the chest. You need tangible guards, Your Majesty. Okay, so I guess they mix up some of these events depending on the choices you make and doing multiple plays. Tell me about the gladiators. Lowborn crooks who've turned themselves into celebrities through their skill at chopping other people to bits. They're vain and selfish. Their skill in battle is undeniable, but can you trust them? Tell me about the Southern Battle Nuns. Terrifying warriors. They've sworn a vow of silence, so at least they won't spill state secrets. But their faith and loyalty is to the church above all, even your safety. Tell me about the veterans of the march. These soldiers have fought more battles than they've had hot dinners. They're uncouth, no doubt, and won't adapt well to life in the palace, but they're loyal and tough as nails. What foreign mercenaries do you suggest? A band of fearsome fighters from the Tatterlands called the Battle-Bitten Brethren. They specialize in bodyguard work, but they're costly, and hiring foreigners will betray a lack of confidence in our kingdom's fighters. I've made my decision. I await your verdict with bated breath, Your Majesty. The High Inquisitor's right. The Ninth God shall protect me. Your Majesty, I must protest in the strongest possible terms. Nobles will consider this an insult to their warriors' prowess. And more importantly, without an honor guard, you're totally unprotected. Is your life worth so little to you? I'm willing to risk it. Fine. No doubt the common folk will see this as a sign of strength. But don't blame me when you wind up on the wrong end of an assassin's blade. At last, a queen who trusts in the Ninth! You have nothing to fear, Your Majesty. Your enemies' arrows shall miss, and their swords shall falter. We're going for the less popular High Inquisitor route this time. Looks like this will be an easy assassination. Nah, didn't you hear the Inquisitor? The assassin's blades will just disappear before they can swing. Alright. A risky wager. Hold on to your masks, hats, and other accessories, everyone. Grandi Haroplamo is about to lose a huge amount of money. We've bet our life savings on a boat race around the coast, and I am sure to win the day. So sure, in fact, that I petition the council to officially sponsor my voyage. What makes you so sure? By all that glitters, Your August Majesty, I'm a patrician. We practically learned to sail before we can walk. He's talking rubbish, Your Majesty. My caravel will beat J.F. Linero's old boat. The Ninth will bless my path. If you sponsor anyone, sponsor me. All right. So, we can sponsor Lord Patrician J.F. Linero or Grandi Haroplamo. Alternatively, I could sponsor both nobles, which is more expensive and raises my authority. I'm not going to go with declining to support anyone. You won't regret sponsoring me. Personally, I've seen this event once before in another game. Can send cute animal. You know what? That won me over once before. It's gonna win me over again. I'm putting my vote to sponsoring Haro. That's cheating. Nonsense. All's fair. All right. So, how shall we handle this? Who will the council sponsor? You do have a folder of animal photos. Oh no, I've revealed my weakness. Animal pictures. Anyway, cast your votes. But you see, I don't need other people's puppy pictures, because I've got my own puppy, and he's the cutest that there ever was. Alright, looks like we're sponsoring Haro. If anything, I see this as just, a fair handicap, Like, you have to say, J.F. Linero's a patrician, and as he said, they're natural sailors. They're already super good at this, but you see, Haro is a grandee from the south, the desert. Obviously, Haro is at a slight disadvantage in a sailing race, so in order to make it fair, I'm gonna give Haro a little boost. Ninth, bless you, one and all. Soon the patricians won't be the only ones braving the ocean depths. Haraplamo's little boat is soon ready. A new flag is added bearing a huge, strangely discolored rendition of your face. Excitement builds as merchants and tourists flock to the starting town. Soon, both boats embark on their journey. They look very small and flimsy against the vast ocean backdrop. Your August Majesty, I understand you elected to sponsor Grandee Haraplamo. Would you fancy a wager? Since everyone says you're sure they'll win. What kind of wager? A mere trifle for you, I'm sure, Your Serene Highness. Your wisdom is known by all, so naturally you'd have great fortune. Fuck it, let's keep gambling. Oh, excellent! Then where shall you place your bet? I'm betting on Haro. I'm putting my faith in Haro. Goodness me, a brave queen to bet against the patricians in a sea race. Listen, I'm putting everything into faith. I am going to be heaven's favorite child. How much would you like to bet, Your August Majesty? I will bet 500 gold. You return to the capital to await news of the race. Fuck yeah, animal pictures! Oh, there's seals and cats! Everything in faith? And surely Listen. I have confidence I'm gonna win this race. And I'm gonna win this bet. But I do still have other things I need to pay for in the meantime. I can't spend all of it at once. Gotta keep some in the piggy bank, you know? The monk. Your Majesty, a young southern monk named Gidlefrith seeks an audience. Is he Alamegan? I mean, that sounds like a lore-compliant Highlander name from FF14. He's writing a book and has a small request. I can vouch for his seriousness. What kind of book? Wants to write the history of your reign, Your Majesty, so future scholars may delight in tales of your wisdom, I can only assume. Show him in. Thank you for seeing me, Your Majesty. I'm writing a history of your reign, but research is costly. I was wondering if you might donate a little to support my efforts. Oh, see? See? Oh, I've got to do it. I've got to do it. Portray me as a living god. Well, I try to be an unbiased historian, but for you, Your Majesty, I'll make an exception. Thank you for seeing him, Your Majesty. Is that all? Yes, Your Majesty. Gidlefrith is a very deliberate historian. I doubt his book will be ready for decades. Ah, well. Oh, I bet that's something that will come up in a legacy event. I bet that's just gonna... We'll maybe get one continuation off of that, and then later, like if I continue this game, that'll come up in the next game. All right, auction time. So, for this, everyone can use their personal wealth, which is over here on the right side of the screen. You can also view your personal wealth by clicking the little extension on the channel's little screen to put your personal wealth towards building 2 of these facilities. So they affect whichever... If it's one of the region stats, such as trade, farming, military, or faith, it will only affect the specific region where it is built. So building this cathedral here will only raise faith for the grandees. whereas building one that affects a kingdom stat, such as authority or stability, doesn't matter where it's built. Wherever it's built, it will affect my stats up here. Hello, bruh. Bruh, 211, 21, 9. That's so many numbers. I don't think I can say that many numbers. 20,011,219. Damn, we're all trying to kill stability. Apparently, everyone voted to throw me in the river, and then everyone said, nah, let's try and lower stability again, though. So, up for auction, we have a fortress, which will raise military for the barons. A stadium, which will lower stability for the military for the barons. A cathedral, which will raise faith for the grandees. A monument, which will raise my authority. Hey! No guillotines! No more Land of the Ways. A prison, which will lower stability, and a theater, which will lower authority. Alright, use the chat code !fund, the letter of the building, and the number of personal wealth you are adding to the pool. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go! Remember, the 2 most funded buildings will be put into effect. Nice! Alright, well, looks like that prison is all but a guaranteed thing. The prison is in the strong lead, but that stadium is only leading by 1. It's anyone's game. First person to try it out. Oh, the fortress has jumped ahead. The fortress and the prison. And it's sold. So the prison has lowered the kingdom's stability by 1, while the fortress has raised the baron's military by 1. Bankruptcy looms. Finding a spouse. A delicious discovery. Treasury is almost empty, Your Highness. What do you suggest we do? Apart from raising taxes, we have precious few options. Could get a bank loan, sell off the crown jewels, perhaps crack open some of your predecessors' tombs. Most were buried with piles of gold, or so I've heard. I would love to try doing that, but I cannot get, like, the speed and cadence of, like, one of those professional auctioneers. Alright, I own the Royal Mint, don't I? Make more coins. Take a hefty loan from Salvant and Gall Bank. Sell off some of the royal jewelry to wealthier nobles. Or crack open some tombs. Yeah, I think this is a good choice. Let's sell off some royal jewelry. I don't need it. I've got my crown. I'm a very, what's the word? I'm a modest queen. Just make more money. No, I've seen what happens when you make more money. It's very bad. You auction off dozens of necklaces, 5 gold rings, and a jeweled scepter. It is a humiliating affair. Selling off symbols of power makes you look weak and desperate. Ooh, look at this tiara. Fetching, isn't it? Don't mind if I do. Oh, check out this scepter. Looks like I'm queen. Oh, I just saw, Vers, your Your flag has a crab on it. That's cute. A delicious discovery. Word from the boat race, Your August Majesty. Grandee Haro Plamo has sent a letter by Seagull. The race continues apace. We're far ahead of that pathetic Lord Patrician J.F. Lanero. Bad news is that although we brought lots of preserved olives with us, weevils had gotten into the barrels. If we're not careful, I'll starve, and my sailors will be hungry too. The good news is that we found this unfamiliar kelp that could be the answer to our prayers, but we don't know if it's poisonous. They ask for guidance on whether to use this seaweed for food. What do you say, Your Esteemed Highness? All right. Haro should eat the seaweed. That's a 50-50 chance. Leave the seaweed alone. It could be dangerous. Or fund a speedy investigation by Quail University. So, getting an investigation from Quail University will take 900 out of the treasury, but raise farming and trade. The seaweed is a 70% chance of success based on the farming stat. And Haro should eat the seaweed is a 50% shot. Last time seaweed was good. Yeah, but last time I didn't have money riding on this. Hum. None of these seem too dangerous that I would need to veto them. We're playing fast and loose with cash. I am of the opinion that it would be nice to make an informed decision. Vote now on your phones. Got one too many ETs in that one. I'm glad to see that we are all in agreement. All right, voting has closed. Throw cash at a group of scholars who pore over the seaweed over the next few weeks. Your Majesty, this seaweed isn't actually a plant. It's a vast animal. The fronds are a kind of camouflage as it lurks on the seabed. Eating it can drive a healthy person into a bloodthirsty frenzy. But, if prepared correctly, it tastes like grilled lamb. You send instructions to Haro and soon hear back. God bless you, Your Majesty. It would have been dreadful if we'd eaten the plant animal incorrectly. As it is, the crew love it. Why, I feel invigorated just writing about it. I've sent a shipment to the south with cultivation instructions so the grandees can grow and sell this new crop? All right. Farming and trade in the south have both gone up to 7. Haro is in the lead. You may win your bet, Your August Majesty. Hey. All right. Finding a spouse. The twisty passages of your castle, you can avoid your advisors, the nobles, even the spy master. But there's one person you can't avoid. Your mother. Why haven't you found a spouse yet? It's almost been a year. Is it really that urgent? Of course! Don't worry, I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What's your preference? Men, women, or do you not mind? I can go anyway. Excellent! I'll send out messages to the most influential noble families in the kingdom. Let's see what they have to offer. And that's the end of that season. Alright, back in the south, a pair of grandees are conversing on the balcony of a hillside villa. One of them paces up and down, clearly agitated. Has the Archbishop agreed to meet with us yet? I sent him 4 letters last week. No luck so far. Hardly surprising. The old coot won't move against the Queen unless he knows he's on the winning side. The Grandee's aim is to lower the kingdom's stability to 4 or less. Alright, tax time! The barons strike a rich vein of iron ore in the hills, making 500 wealth. The other nobles gain 200. Yeah, you tuned in for that scheming session over Skype, Haro, don't worry. Alright, so I can implement a tax to get extra wealth from all of you, at the cost of raising your defiance. Or I could go for a common tax. I'm not bribing any of you. Fuck that noise. You're committing tax evasion? Well, I'm getting the money either way. Let's see, Haro, I gave you a pretty nice chunk of change a little bit a while ago for your boat race. So I'm sorry, but I'm gonna need to get some of that back. It's nothing personal, it's just I gotta balance my books, you know? You deserve no such thing. Alright. Mutiny! A theft! And eligible options. Such a worried monarch indeed, so concerned with angering us. Hey, I just want everyone to have a good time. I want everyone to feel welcome and enjoy the time that we have together. Your Majesty, this is an outrage! I demand justice! Last week, Lord Patrician Grey NV21 shook my hand as a supposed show of reconciliation, and stole my family's lucky ring in the process. By all that glitters! Nonsense! Rummage through your drawers and I'm sure you'll find the thing. My liege, a feud has stood between our families for centuries. Grey NV21's ancestors left my ancestor penniless after a cutthroat dice game. Please, being a bad gambler is hardly a grievance. Enough! I know that Grey stole my priceless ring. It brings the march great luck and bounty, and my dear niece is to wear it when she marries. Alright, so we can send the Chancellor over to the coast so they can personally investigate. We can arrest Grey immediately, or we can leave this squabbling nonsense, these squabbling nobles to deal with it themselves. So, we're not doing that. We're not doing this. We're either going to have the Chancellor look into it, or we're going to arrest Grey. Your call. Dan. Dan from Street Fighter. Remember, you have to put vote and then the letter. Hey, Caffeine Forge! Good to see ya. Dan versus. Alright, Chancellor. You're up. Ooh, Coast is not happy. Bruh, thanks you profusely, but the patricians are furious that the accusations are being taken seriously. You order the Chancellor to search Grey NV21's home for the special ring. Goodness, me? I do enjoy tales about such mysteries. I shall do my best. I love you, Chancellor. I wish I could marry my Chancellor. I really do. They are my favorite of the advisors. You can tell the Spy Master I said that. Spy Master is hot. I'd go for her too. I
found 3 potential matches for you. 1 eligible young candidate from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely. You'll be securing a powerful alliance.
Who's your top 3 advisors? Let's see. Chancellor, Spy Master, Marshal, Power Gap, Treasurer, Power Gap, Architect, Power Gap, Inquisitor. The Inquisitor sucks so much. Alright. What if I don't want to marry any of them? The Inquisitor is kind of an advisor. She's a recurring character. And I'm not even going to talk about the Archbishop. He's the Pope. Who gives a shit? Fuck the Pope. And not like in the fun way.
That's a decision that can wait until after you've seen them, isn't it?
Your mother leads you to the Great Hall, where she's arranged 3 portraits on easels. For now, each is covered by a cloth.
Wait, I don't get to meet them? Oh, there's no time for sentiment. You just need a match that befits your station and suits your political needs.
She whisks away the cloth from the first portrait.
From the coast, we have Camilla, the wealthy heir to the noble patrician Caffeine Forge's estate. They've got a reputation for honesty and fair-mindedness. That's rare along the coast. Their interests are typical of the coast. Money, 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 and making more money. Unfortunately, they're very bad at it. All their business deals seem to fall through.
Could be worse, but could be a lot better.
From the south, Ernesto, eldest son of the Soft Pancakes 42 lineage. He's reputed to have an ego the size of the sun, but there's nothing wrong with confidence, right? Like many in the south, he claims to put his faith in the ninth god above all worldly concerns. Unfortunately, he lacks the common touch. Peasants have some terrible nicknames for him.
I don't like the look of him.
And finally, we have the March's offering, Henrika, scion of the prestigious Kefli bloodline. Unlike most of the barons, she can conduct an entire conversation without shouting. And look at her, stunning. Like most of the barons, her great passion is hunting. No beast is safe from her crossbow. She's got a reputation for not giving a damn what anyone thinks of her.
Sounds like a laugh.
What do you think? Of course, by picking the candidate, you'll anger the other regions, but you'll gain a lifelong alliance.
I've made my decision.
Well, which do you want to marry?
I refuse to marry any of them!
Without a marriage, you are alone. No alliance, no support, and not to mention an insult to the most powerful families in the kingdom. What possible reason could you have for choosing not to marry?
My heart belongs to another, a low-born commoner. Stability go down, defiance go up. Marriage would weigh me down. I want a party! Defiance up, stability down. I want to live a life of chastity in honor of the ninth god. Faith go up, defiance and stability down. So these are the options if you choose not to get married. Because I know that there are other marriage options that you have that will show up if you don't get married to one of the high houses. Party is best option. Get to play cards with the treasurer and bishop. Let's see. No matter what I do, choosing not to marry will lower stability, and that will get all of you to your next scheme, the next stage of your schemes. Living a life. This would. I said I want to be a saint, so this could actually be in my favor in the long run. But I also want to get laid. Hello, More Country Roads. Thank you for joining us. This will give you future options, so that one will help you a lot. No one needs to know of affairs inside the castle. You know, that's true. Thank you, Soft Pancakes. Thank you for joining us tonight. That's what the thing is, I'm trying to get the church on my side. Do I just close the stream and that'll be fine? I'm not sure. I haven't seen if there is an option for leaving the game once you've joined. Here. Yeah, like, I don't have the option to kick anyone out, and there doesn't seem to be a timeout option, so unfortunately you're going to remain in the game, even if you're no longer here, but there's not going to be, like, any big deal. At worst, your name will show up a few times. I don't think you can leave, so as I presume many people will intentionally leave to get the faction they want. Yeah, probably. See, I would think this would raise stability, because I think this one should raise stability, because, like, the commoner's like, whoa, the queen's like one of us! Oh my god. Oh my god, I just realized. This one? Of, like, my heart belongs to a lowborn commoner, that should totally allow you to go this route of building a fucked up parasocial relationship with the peasants. Of like, oh man, the queen's partner, they just like me for real. And get all the peasants on my side. In the next update, premium players will get to choose their faction. I can see how people would want that, but I also see that potentially leading to, like, balance issues of too many people on the same side. You know what? I'm gonna throw you all a bone, and I'm gonna go with saying I'm gonna stay chaste. Sure, I'm sure the church will be very pleased with your show of devotion, but the nobles won't. They'll see it as an abandonment of your duty. Single and ready to kingle! That is such a stupid achievement! Queens don't have the luxury of freedom. You'll learn that sooner or later. Alright, is that, right. Mutiny! Dramatic news from the boat race, Your Serene Highness. Grandy Harrow sent a letter telling me everything. What if I meet a hot fish? We beg for aid. My crew has turned against me. They're saying they did all the work to get us ahead and are demanding higher pay and better treatment. Can you imagine? They're threatening to throw me overboard. I beg for help. Every minute we argue, we lose time. I'm against J.F. Lanero. By the 9th! We must step in. These sailors can't be allowed to disrupt the race like this. Really? Surely if Harrow can't lead their own crew, that's on them. Why should they get special treatment? This has already hurt their chances of winning the bet. But why should they be punished further? Send southern troops to make them fall into line. Grandees can send funds to pay off the mutineers. Or let the mutiny resolve itself. Oh, these are both 50% chances. So military and let it resolve itself and send Southern troops are both 50-50 choices. Grandees will affect defiance, raise stability, so none of y'all are going to take this one, because this one will fuck up your schemes. So, alas. So it really comes down to either send the Southern troops or let the mutiny resolve itself. Yeah, I would have liked to do something that could force option B to happen, but that's simply not feasible, and it's gonna come down to the heart of the cards. Let it resolve itself, or send the Southern troops to make them fall in line. Alright, I think we can but hope that Haro can resolve the mutiny themselves. Speaking of loyalty, the next update will add a loyalist scheme. Ooh, loyalist scheme. Interesting. That to me sounds like play against the other factions so hard that, like, you have the stay so faithful and so loyal to the crown that you can run roughshod over everyone else. All right, let the mutiny resolve itself. Let's see what happens. Defiance is aggrieved. Oh no! After a long delay, Haro is forced to scrape together gold to promise to their crew. They're neck and neck with JF Lanero, and the race is nearly over. At least Haro is okay. That's the important thing. Alright, this is everyone's schemes going through, all at once. While the Queen settles into her young reign, a general has risen in the march, the indomitable Baroness Victoria. General, fantastic news! We're ready to move forwards with the new plan. Kingdom's in such a state that commoners are begging for someone to save them. All we need is a suitable boogeyman to get them really riled up. Oh yeah, I commented that at the very beginning, that, like, the South has such a tiny, tiny portion of land. The Ashmedian Empire will do, I should think. What? Redeemed? Contribute to Cult's Totem. 500. Wait, is that back from when I was playing Cult of the Lamb, like a very long while ago? I thought I disabled that extension. Makes it more impressive we have the highest farming and tied with highest trade. Yeah, for real, grandees are killing it right now. After all, they've always coveted our land, especially in the March. How would our dear queen stop them with the kingdom in such a state? Good thinking, General. While your campaign warns of the Ashmedian threat and proposes a march for defense, we will build an army to back your words. For the next stage of the Baron scheme, their stat goal is to have the highest military within 3 seasons. Oh, well, they've got that in the bag. They've got a whopping 7 military. That'll need the grandees to get 4 more, or to do some serious lowering of the barons. Back in the south, the plot to have the queen excommunicated is picking up momentum. 2 grandees stand on a balcony overlooking the city of Calibra.
City may look peaceful, but underneath it's nothing but discontent. All across the kingdom, peasants are sharpening their cutlery and barricading their shacks. They know a storm is coming, and who better to blame but the queen herself? Yeah, for real. Exactly. The commoners are afraid, and it's time for them to find their faith. For the next stage of their scheme, grandees must raise all regions' faith to a combined total of at least 10 in 4 seasons. Well, hey, I've made that happen well and dandy. That's fucking all done. Chaos in the kingdom. Anchored a few miles off from the sunny coast, noble patrician Belad has invited their closest confidants aboard their yacht. Given the recent turmoil, the council is calling the queen's inner circle to resign. We need to increase the pressure. If the queen's in a weak enough position, she's got no choice but to bow to our demands. No more interfering spy master. No more marshal or chancellor or treasurer. A whole new inner circle, all made up of patricians. The grandees themselves are already almost done just by being themselves. Yeah. Patricians must lower authority to 4 or less in 3 seasons. Alright, so, new law. Royal gamble, anonymous voting, or swing votes. Let's have we've done some gambling already. Is it possible for all schemes to succeed simultaneously? Yes, it is. You basically have to vote for whose scheme goes through. You have to argue amongst yourselves of like, oh, our scheme should win. Alright. End is near. A plague of rats. Searching for the ring. The boat race is nearly at a close! I'd hoped the coast would win the day, but it appears the 2 boats will draw! Lamentably, things aren't going how the Queen bet. How exciting! Truly, this race is of utmost importance. On a completely unrelated note, I have a shipment of copper that is due to intercept the racers any day now. If my ship got in the way, who knows might happen? And I dare say the race's outcome could be altered. Of course, I could be convinced to alter the shipment's route instead. Your Serene Highness, we must put a stop to this shameless attempt to sabotage the race! Okay, so... have the grandees pay for the ship to obstruct JF Lanero. Have patricians pay for the ship to obstruct Haro's path. Or refuse a shameless bribe. Alright, so the way this will work is if we have the grandees pay, grandees will lose wealth, trade in the march will go up, and JF Lanero is like guaranteed to win. You have to add a pronoun on their edge. Hit ! Join she to hop in. Oh, there you are. Yeah, see, it's assigned you random pronouns since you didn't specify. Alright, so... this game needs a kick function. I am alone. I think Verz is here. Alright, so... grandees can pay to bribe the barons to make sure that Haro wins. Patricians can pay to make sure that JF Lanero wins. Or we could refuse a bribe. How do we feel? How do we feel about this?
Alright. Caffeine is calling to refuse. Leave it up to pure skill. No bribes. Imagine not being in such a decisive victory in the boat race and winning the queen so much glory and wealth in the bet that the queen puts your family in the direct line of succession, like my family, the great subject name family. Yeah, I'm not, I don't believe in a bribe with this. Hey, I made a bet, and if I lose the bet, I lose. That's on me. We're not gonna resort to bribery. Of course, Haro is voting to to win. Oh, it's neck and neck. Let's see, there's more people that haven't voted. Who else? Who hasn't made their opinion known? I want to hear what everyone has to say on this. Come on now, don't be shy. Hello, Zelkaja! But surely not everyone has gone. The only Baron. Lamentable. It's been 2 votes of just me. Aw, I'm sorry to hear that. Vers, are you still out there? Please! The Barons need your votes! Ah... Somebody sound a dog whistle! Oh, don't be rude. It's fine, I pledge my allegiance to the crown. Man, why are y'all being so rude to Haro? I can't believe this. Well, nothing I can do about it. Egad, this undermines the very sanctity of the boat race! South is not happy. Lumbering ships make its way in front of Haro's boat, blocking the way to the finish line. Copper makes its way to Tavalin ahead of schedule. Soon, nobles and peasants alike gather at the finish line, watching breathlessly as the winner arrives. And it's Lord Patrician J.F. Lanero. Excellent! No one can beat a patrician in a boat race! Now pay up, Haro. Damn it! I can't even stand to look at a fish anymore, and I don't know what's happened to my sea legs! Thank you very much. Perhaps you'd like a rematch in a year's time. No! I'm never setting foot in a boat again, you salty sea urchin! Zelkaja, you are a grandee of the South. Regrettably, your Serene Highness, you lost your bet, but it was all good fun, wasn't it? Back on the coast, the merchants flocked to investigate J.F. Lanero's boat and use his sailing techniques to improve their own craft. Though the race is over, it gripped the kingdom. Similar bets take place as far afield as Saul and Kurth, some successful and others ending in watery deaths. Searching for the ring. Your Majesty, I found Baron Bruh's ring, but the situation is delicate. You already got it earlier, I think. I don't know, who cares? Lord Patrician's nephew, Gray, has it, but because Bruh's niece is used to propose to him. My guardian, Gray, doesn't understand true love. My dear, you
Eugenie and I are meant to be together, feud or no! All we want is a quiet life, a little garden, a flock of geese, 20 acres of land or so. No one knows about this romance yet, but tensions are high. Both regions are using the feud to fuel a full-on rivalry between barons and patricians. Perhaps I'm soft-hearted, but I can't help but feeling for this young couple. Is there a way we could resolve this peacefully? How much gold do I have? Oh, that is too expensive. I can't do that. I will publicly bless the young couple's union. Oh, cheers, Your Highness. I'd love to give them a dowry, but I can't afford that. You formally bless the upcoming marriage of Eugenie and Marcel. Both barons and patricians are outraged, claiming that you've disrespected their centuries-long feuding tradition. As wedding preparations begin, the story of the love-struck couple catches the imagination of the Marcher peasants, who work together to make a huge cornucopia as a wedding gift. A plague of rats. Baron Subject Name Missing strides into the council chambers, distraught, waving a dead rat by its tail. I don't know. Oh, the big thing I did was I chose not to get married. I chose not to get married, and that raised everyone's defiance very high. Rats are not good stabbing targets, much too small. The fields and barns of the March are overrun by vermin, and we've no more poison for these horrible things. We can't cope anymore! Alright. Take that, rat, and go. The March can handle this alone. That is a farming check. Deliver a supply of rat poison. That is a stability check. Send a shipment of cats, costs 500 gold. Or hire some adventurers to clear out the rodents. Costs 900 gold and lowers defiance. Yeah, to the barons out there, do we rebel? Why? You're doing great on your scheme. You gain nothing by rebelling. You're all set to hit the next stage of your scheme. Like, look. Your scheme is to have the highest military in 3 seasons, and you're doing great. You have the highest military by a landslide. Yeah, and besides, barons can't rebel right now. Anyway, a shipment of cats would be fun. Adventurers to clear out the rodents would be fun. What are we feeling? Are we feeling adventurers or cats? Gamble cats to make up the money. See, you're saying that, but I'm also thinking you're trying to play me. Cats. Cats are an invisible gamble. Yeah, they are. Yeah, that is part of it, is that cats are not a guaranteed solution. I might be manipulative, but these are but at times, but these are cats we're talking about. Yeah, so the cats cost less, but they are not a guaranteed solution. That's the tricky part. Who doesn't want a kitty? What's up, Furs? Are we winning by doing absolutely nothing? You are! You are, in fact, winning by doing absolutely nothing, because I have not had any options to really sabotage or slow down your schemes. I've seen games when cats wins, it's like 2 trade, lots of good stuff. Yeah, I know. Like, if cats goes well, it's really good. But if it breaks bad, it's really bad. Like,
that's kind of that's one thing I wish they did specify, that cats is still a random chance on top of it costing money. What's the downside of cats? If they don't, there's a chance like the cats go feral and they don't do everything, and then you've just got like cats fucking up. Like, as it was said, cats fucking up the local ecosystem without actually killing the rats that they were sent in for. What does it lower? I believe it lowers farming by because the rats are then free to like tear up all the crops and stuff and cause problems. And it also raises defiance. Because the barons see it as like, you didn't actually help us, you just made it worse. And yes, hello, Tyrese Wolfman. Thank you for joining us. Alright, let's see what happens. Barons, get cats! Subject name missing, bows to you deeply. Hello, Rick Note. Thank you for tuning in. I can't thank you enough, Your Highness. You send a caravan of cats over to the march. By the time they reach their destination, they're hungry and angry. The perfect rat-catching mindset. Alright, that is that an 80% chance? Soon, the rats are gone, and most households in the march have a very satisfied cat guarding their food. You hope kittens don't become a problem. Yeah, pretty much everyone except the patricians are doing fine on their schemes. The only patricians just need to lower authority by 1. Verge of Rebellion, spooky. Guess we'll win the normal way then. Yeah, probably. I decided to get very silly with it, and I chose to have no honor guard and not get married. Miraculous discovery. A meeting with the Archbishop. Your Majesty, I've a few message from some respected members of the clergy. Oh, is everything all right? Yes, of course. It's quite the honor, honestly. Your decision to stay chaste and in honor of the Ninth God has caused quite the stir, and many people want to meet you. The High Inquisitor mentioned wanting your assistance in dealing with some heretical items. The leaders of the Sisterhood of Steel would love to see you, and a group of reclusive merchants have invited you for a visit. What's this about a nunnery? The Sisterhood of Steel is an ancient order known for their military prowess, Your Majesty. Would very much like to speak with you, and perhaps teach you their battle arts. What does the High Inquisitor want? She has a stockpile of dangerous artifacts that need to be cleansed, Your Majesty. Since you have such a close connection with the Ninth God, you are the ideal person to assist with the ritual. Though I must say, it's not for the faint of heart. Tell me about these monks. They live deep within the tunnels beneath the Marcher forests, Your Majesty. They're very reclusive, but they experience intense visions of the Ninth God. You could gain a great deal of wisdom from visiting them, I'm certain. I've made my decision. I'll head to the Sisterhood of Steel to learn from them. I will join the High Inquisitor to stamp out heresy. I will visit the reclusive monks of the March. Alright, so... You know what? I said earlier that we're on the Inquisitor route, so let's fucking go all in. Very good, Your Majesty. I will let the Inquisitor know that you will meet with her soon. Oh, those Steel Sisters, though. Whew. Get me hot under the collar. The happy couple. Your Majesty, Your Majesty, that couple from the March and the coast are here to speak to the Council.
Oh, your majesty, you've brought us so much joy. I can't believe I finally get to be with my dear Marcel.
But it's not all good. We wanted to get married and start a farm together, enjoy some peace and quiet for a change.
All we need is each other, and a few adorable animals. And the wedding would be tiny, 300-400 people, at most. But of course, Bruh and Grey refuse to give us anything. Please, my liege, help us just once more.
Okay! So, should Bruh have to give some, the couple some land in the march? Should Grey have to give the couple some land on the coast? Should they make their own way out in the south? Or should they leave them to their own devices? Why am I such an asshole this time around? Hey, luck of the draw. Forge their own way in the south. Move to the south. Don't you dare Iron Choice C. Well, yeah. What do you want me to do with it then? I've got to use it sometimes. But let's see. All right. So no matter what, Defiance is going to go up. It really just depends on who has Defiance go up. Actually, I think that may affect... the other two got it through nothing. Throw us a bone at least. If they come south, it will show a union of our regions. Barons of the lowest are fine with some anger issues. You're all making some very, very convincing arguments. Couple should forge their own path in the south, so in that case, the south will benefit the most. Because if you have, depending on where the couple goes, trade and farming will go up in that region. For my daughter on my own land. So if they go to the march, that will raise trade and farming over in the march. If they go to the coast, that will raise trade and farming in the coast. And if they go south, that will solely raise farming for the south. Barons won't use trade to win. Potentially. You never know what that last step might be. This farm idea is silly. They're on their own. Changed my mind. They have my blessing now. You know what? I agree. They should go to the south. The south is lovely this time of year. In summer. Summer of 949. Oh, wow! It ended just like that! Whoa! Damn, how did that happen? Thanks for the money. Few nobles want their relatives to become humble farmers, especially if it's because of a whirlwind romance with someone of a rival lineage. Neither the barons nor the patricians are happy. But the grandees welcome them eagerly, even giving them some scrubby land to live on. Turns out they have a knack for wilderness life, helped along by the lucky ring, and they quickly cultivate a thriving farm that brings prosperity to the area.
Eugene and Marcel even named their first child after the queen. Little Xebha grows up peacefully in the country, far away from the feuding families. Happy ending. Happy ending for everyone. Now, a miraculous discovery. Ninth above, your majesty! One of the peasants from my estate discovered something extraordinary. I was lost in the desert, herding my sheep, and I ran out of water. Then I swear I heard the voice of the ninth god in my ear. He said, "Drink and be sustained, for you are faithful." Then an oasis bubbled up from the dry sand. Praise the ninth! Even better, the water has healing properties. A single sip fixed a sprained ankle. A true miracle in the south. This is marvelous news indeed. We must allow the kingdom's faithful to access these sacred waters. Nay, the whole kingdom! Wait, for free, your holiness? All right. Sacred waters must be free to everyone who wants them. Use the waters to irrigate southern crops and heal sick animals, or allow the grandees to charge pilgrims to visit. Well... Water is everyone's resource. It'll be right to help the new farm, right? People are liking option B. Alright, so. I'm fine with them getting it for free. So. If the grandees are allowed to charge people, grandees get wealth, their defiance goes down, and stability will drop. Because, you know, peasants are going to be unhappy that they have to pay to access the magic water. If we go with option B, defiance will shift around, most likely go up for the grandees, and probably go down for others, since the others don't have to pay for it, and trade and faith will go up. And then if we go with the last one, use the waters to irrigate southern crops and heal sick animals, my authority will drop, but farming and stability will both raise. Couple will like it for their farm. Clearly the ninth is blessing their union. Yeah, that's what I'm saying! A holy water. All must be closer to the ninth god. But, hey, I just wanna point something out to my, my baron and grandee friends here, that right now, you're all, like, straight tied for your schemes, but if the patricians get what they want, if C goes through, oh, that's gonna get them, they're gonna be catching up with you. Do you guys want that? Do you guys want to have to split a three-way tie with the patricians? If all go through, you will have to juggle with us all. Patricians have most people. Obviously, it's more exciting that way. We'll win the vote. Think you can win like that? I believe that the ninth god is watching out for me. Patricians are the only ones that didn't start this stage with the scheme already complete. That's true. That's true. Barons want A, grandees want B, patricians want C. I have been considering putting Iron Choice on C. That would be very funny, wouldn't it? Please don't, that's cruel. Yeah, but it would be so funny, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it, though? Like, yeah, you want to lower my authority? Sure, go for it, bud! Fucking go for it, bud! Come on, let's do it! Yeah! Yeah, no one can agree. Everyone wants something different. Alright, looks like...
Oh! Oh, it's neck and neck! Who will come out on top? Hey, thanks. Alright, we're gonna use the waters to irrigate southern crops and heal sick animals. The Archbishop huffs and grumbles that the sacred water should be used for higher things, but he can't argue with the council. So, authority go up to 6, authority go down to 5. Grandees set their peasants to work, diverting the holy water to irrigate their farms. It's a huge success, and the fields flourish. Peasants call the whole area the breadbasket of the 9th. Hurrah! Auction time! Alright, we have a fortress in the March, which will raise the March's military by 1. There is an observatory, which will lower faith in the March by 1. A cathedral, which will raise faith in the South by 1. A stadium, which will lower military in the South by 1. A monument, which will raise the kingdom's authority by 1. And a theater, which will lower authority by 1. Alright. If you want my personal recommendation, patricians are gonna put all they got into this theater, but there's not that many of them. They don't have a whole lot of cash to burn. I'm thinking that y'all should probably not let them make that theater. You should probably, I don't know, probably get a monument to kind of either cancel it out, or hell, y'all have got enough cash to throw around. You could spend it everywhere. Are we getting bullied for the boat race? Hey, I'm just playing the cards as they're handed to me. I'm just doing what I can. Let us make the theater. We'll not have any more money for the rest of the game. Alright. Let's go, go, go! You caused the results of the boat race. I did no such thing. I gave Haro an advantage to win that boat race, and then the council sabotaged it. I was really trying to help Haro out. Really? You're gonna pin your bad decisions on me? Listen, y'all need to be a bit more responsible. Sabotaged by making us vote. I didn't force you to vote anyway. You sacrificed your own goals. I asked her to refuse bribe. You iron choice that. Yeah, obviously, because that's what people wanted. And how was my listening to the people rewarded? You didn't do it. You turned on me. I can't. Really, I'm the victim here in all of this. Thanks for raising the faith and authority. By the way, y'all are doing fantastic. Rebel. Propagander. Alright, dangerous artifacts. Hey girl! You arrive in the High Inquisitor's underground chambers under cover of darkness. She emerges from shadowy candlelight. Your Majesty, I'm surprised you came. Why? I'm perfectly faithful. What, aren't you happy to see me? Her face is severe and inscrutable as ever. Can't you tell? I'm delighted. Oh, she's a keeper. Follow me. The hour is late. You follow her through a warren of narrow tunnels. The air grows colder as you grow further and further underground. Eventually, you reach a heavy iron door. The High Inquisitor unlocks it with 9 different keys. Are you trying to keep things inside or out? Yes. The door slides open, revealing a wide chamber lit with torches. Silver moonlight shines down through a long skylight onto a simple altar. Beside the altar sits a heavy chest bound with metal. The High Inquisitor unlocks it,
to reveal a pitted, tarnished circlet, a pale, leather-bound book, and a necklace whose green jeweled pendant drinks the light. These are what we must cleanse this night. Did someone wear this circlet? It was worn by a disciple of the 10th. She tried to accelerate the coming of the false 10th god by bringing plague upon the lands. What's the necklace? A cultist tried to imbue it with the soul of a dead heretic. The evil soul whispered to him, trying to escape from the 7 hells and return to Celeste Oth. This book looks unpleasant. Indeed, it was the diary of a vile murderer who died centuries ago. It was found by one of my agents, hidden in the wall of an abandoned keep. What happened to the 8th god? The 9th god killed him. Yeah, no, the actual lore is that the 9th god, the one that we worship, killed all the other ones. Alright, I'm ready. Let us begin. The High Inquisitor lights a circle of candles around the chest before placing a ceremonial chain upon the altar. She takes 2 torches and hands you one, then kneels before the chest, head bowed. As you follow her lead, the air around the chest feels oddly warm. Where does the machine god fit into the numbers? That's a foreign god. We don't count that one. The High Inquisitor begins chanting under her breath, the words blurring together as the quality of the sound shifts. Time slows down, and then another voice joins her. Do not listen! Servants of the 7th god will try to turn you from your duty. Focus on the altar. The altar glows brighter and brighter as the High Inquisitor's voice rises. Your torch flares blue. Your Majesty, put your hand in the fire. Very well! You take a deep breath and put your hand in the bright flames. It feels like a cool breeze upon your skin. The entire chest goes up in smoke. After a moment, only melted metal and ashes remain. Good. The 9th god is pleased. She leads you through the tunnels back to open air. Your clothes smell of smoke, and for many nights afterwards you have confused dreams of flame and shadow. Propaganda campaign. Are you familiar with General Victoria of the March? You might have noticed a surge in popular support for her in recent months. The barons intend to paint the general as the people's savior, an alternative to your disastrous rule. Did they really say disastrous? Forgive me, Your Majesty, you have more important things to consider right now. Barons are mounting an extensive propaganda campaign, claiming you're too weak to defeat the kingdom, to defend the kingdom from the Ashmedian menace, that only General Victoria of the March can stop them. Wait, is Ashmead planning an attack? I doubt it very much, Your Majesty. It's a marcher lie to diminish you in favor of their claimant. You must keep their military in check. Their words will ring hollow if the general's armies aren't as strong as they claim. Unfortunately, the general's ceremonies are already becoming quite extravagant, even frenzied. It'd be hard to stop them now. You bring the revelations, which the barons wholeheartedly deny, to the council. Place a limit on the number of marcher soldiers. Allow the barons to propaganda to circulate. No one will believe them anyway. So, you have to understand. A is not going to reduce the marchers' military enough to stop them, and we can't allow this to happen. We have to at the very least, we have to delay the scheme. Okay? Patricians, veto C. Well, the problem is that both A and C are, like, because there's still one more thing, and I want to hold on to that veto. Do we have confirmation if A reduces those by 1 or 2? I think it's only 1, but regardless, even if it reduced it by 2... A is better than C, because it was... Not really. It would lower their military, but not enough to make them lose the scheme. Because for their scheme, they want to have the highest military. You'd have to lower their military by 4 in order to actually stop them from progressing. Claimant seems like a much better ruler. Lot promised us that last time. Listen, I'm just saying, if you want to stop, if you want to delay the Barons, B is the only option. Because A helps the Barons. They already have the military they need, and this is not going to slow them down even a little bit. I just want it to be known that option B is your best chance to slow the Barons down and stop them from taking it. Oh, Dunk, it's close here. Oh, there it goes. Patricians are fucking salty little bitches that are all like, told you to veto C. Listen, if I didn't veto C, they would have all voted for A instead. It wouldn't have made a difference. You made a deal. Yeah, the deal is that you're gonna lose, Caffeine Forge. Yeah, the boat race that the Barons sabotaged you on. Council takes no actions. Barons smile to one another as they watch their plot march one step closer to its goal. What does it matter? Y'all are gonna rebel anyway. And then you're gonna fucking die because you have 3 military. Your Highness, I'm ruined. Hordlings have occupied my vineyard and driven my staff away. What's a hordling? Grubby little creatures, like fat green babies with claws. Hard to kill. Fire is the only way to get rid of them permanently. Whatever you do, we should do it soon. They're eating all my grapes! Why can't your fellow grandees help out? My plight is of no interest to them. Alright, I'll assemble the council. Ninth bless you, your highness. Alright, we can burn the vineyard with all the hordlings inside. We can strong-arm the grandees into sending military help. Or we can hire an adventurer from the guild to investigate. What do y'all think? Have a vote in the end, hire adventurer. Let's see, adventurer costs 650 gold. C is milk, A is flames. I say flames. So, burning the vineyard will lower farming and trade in the south. It'll hurt the south. A will hurt the south, but it will probably resolve the problem. We could strong-arm other grandees into sending help, which would raise their defiance. But it would get them a little more money. Or we could hire an adventurer to investigate, which would cost me 650 from the treasury. Hum, hum, hum. Well, see, here's my concern.
My concern is that burning the vineyard is probably going to settle things decisively, because fire is the only way to get rid of them for good. These other two options, I don't know if those will get the job done, you know? Just send one person. What's one adventurer going to do, huh? Find another way to deal with it. Adventurer will learn their weakness. Gonna be Hordling Slayer. Bring our finest cows. Alright, if y'all want to take my money, you're gonna have to validate my authority. Have at it! Also, it looked like someone joined. Who joined? Ursadoom, welcome. I didn't see the message saying you joined in. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. All right. Looks like we're burning the vineyard. My condolences. Burn the vineyard with the Hordlings inside. No! That vineyard is my livelihood! But a Hordling infestation is no single person's problem. If they were to spread, they could ruin homes and businesses across the South. Okay, Haru, you have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. Vineyard and half the hillside is lit up like the sun. Trade and farming go down. Once Grandee More Country Road's wealth goes up in smoke, it's not long before he's turned to begging on the streets of Jacinta. Ah, well. Across the kingdom, commoners and nobles alike are now turning to General Victoria, who promises to rescue them from the Queen's weak rule. Weak? I've got 6 authority! There are daily parades in the General's honor. A cult of personality begins to form. Commoners are signing up in droves to fight for Victoria. Her popularity far eclipses the Queen's. In the Grand Hall of Baron Verskull's castle, a number of figures are hunched around the hearth, plotting away. Soon the people will beg us to depose our pathetic queen. The general is in place. It's time for the final blow. What's next? All right, barons. How are you going to get this done? Are you going to provoke a civil war and take over the palace for the queen's safety by raising everyone else's defiance? Or are you going to enact a swift and brutal coup by lowering authority? Well, considering what defiance looked like already. Whew. Yeah, if patricians, what is the defiance threshold? Probably 10 for both. Probably, I don't know. Alright, looks like they're going for the Civil War. A civil war? How delectable! Oh, we must make sure the other nobles are suitably enraged. We can't be seen to have started the whole thing. A simple task. The other regions are eager for another excuse to hate the queen. We just need to give them a push. And that's when the general will swoop in to save the kingdom from itself. Ingenious, if I do say so. For the final stage of their scheme, barons must raise other regions' defiance to a combined total of 16, or ensure another region begins a rebellion. Okay, so they just won. They literally just won because the patricians are already rebelling. Good job, idiots! Oh, that's funny. Fucking baron sweep. Somewhere along the coast, noble patrician Belades I strolls in their olive grove, accompanied by a close friend. Council demanded a shake-up, but the Queen resists all calls to replace her advisors. Yeah, because I love my advisors. They're great. There's little we can do while the Queen holds out, but something tells me her position is not as strong as she thinks. Patrician's aim is to lower authority to 4 or less. Oh, wait a minute. I think I can stop this rebellion from happening, actually. What if I slid y'all a little something something? If I cancel out the Patricians' rebellion, that'll stop the Barons from winning. I'll do you this one solid. You know, between friends. Alright. Barons rebel and we'll join you. Barons can't rebel. And if the Barons rebel, they can't finish their scheme. Whew, that was dicey, weren't it? New contraption? About my heir. Despite everything, you still refuse to get... Despite everything, you still refuse to get married. It's unwise, but I'm willing to accept I can't persuade you otherwise. One thing you're missing, however, something even more important than a spouse, an heir. You need someone young whose loyalty is assured. A child of your own would do the trick, even if they're a bastard, or the youngest of your many cousins. I'll make my youngest cousin my heir. Of course, entirely sensible. I'll make the arrangements. The Archbishop's discontent. The Archbishop has been meeting with the Grandees, not surprising given the Southerners' usual zeal. But they have insidious intentions. Can you elaborate? My observations tell me the Grandees have persuaded the Archbishop to excommunicate you, all in service of crowning their claimant, Xenostreams. You must be very careful. The peasants are quite pious at the moment. I don't doubt the Archbishop believes himself powerful enough to do it. What can I do? I suggest you take this information to the council. Perhaps there is a way to reduce the church's power without rousing the people's faith. Alrighty, so we can close some monasteries for trivial violations. That will lower overall faith and stability. And raise defiance. Or we could win over the Archbishop with gifts and flattery to delay the scheme. Or we could allow the Archbishop free reign. Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So, figure it out. Figure it out, you damn selves. Of course, this means I don't have my veto for whatever that third event is. And I can already feel that one biting me in the asshole. Whatever. Votes are in already. Alright. Sorry, we need to be faithful. Voting is closed. I mean, I'm going for sainthood here. And I'm doing a pretty good job, I think. A new contraption! Your Majesty, a baron by the name of Tyrese Wolfman wants to present you with a new invention. My liege, we're entering a more modern age, a more humane age. Yet botched executions are commonplace. Decapitations where the head doesn't come off, or hanging where it does. No more! Behold, a merciful machine for removing heads quickly and painlessly. I call it the Tyrese Wolfman. He swishes away a cloth to reveal a huge machine of iron and wood. It has a hole for someone to place their head, and heavy blade dangling ominously above it. Sight sends a chill down your spine. You want to name this horrible thing after yourself? Why not? It's a machine of mercy. A little funding. Your Majesty, I can distribute the Tyrese Wolfman across the kingdoms. This is an abomination. Get out. Very well, Your Majesty. But if there's a rebellion and it takes 4 chops to sever your own neck, don't come crying to me. Southern plot. Deep in the south, a group of grandees watch silently as a blindfolded, soft pancakes 42 tries to stab a portrait of Queen Xebha with a wooden stake. We did this at my granddaughter's 4th birthday with a drawing of a pig. Finally, Grandee's soft pancake hits the mark, and a cheer erupts in the secluded villa. Friends, honored guests, people of the faith, the 9th god has spoken. Now begins the final stage of our plan, excommunication. Thousands of faithful commoners have already flocked to our banners, ready for the coming storm. We are stronger than ever. Only one question remains. For which sin will the Archbishop excommunicate the Queen? For tyranny and abuse of power? Or for greed and avarice, hoarding money that could be used to improve the peasant's lot? So, raise my authority or raise the treasury. Oh. Seems like there are divided opinions. Remember, you have to hit exclamation mark vote to cast it. Are there any other grandees that want to throw their 2 cents in? It's just more country roads and Zelkaja here. Edge, Rick Note. I know that Haro already departed. As well as soft pancakes. It's going to be random if no one... Yeah, that is the problem I've noticed with this, is that a lot of people go AFK sometimes. And it is unfortunate, because it kind of unfairly tilts the votes. Why so many AFKs? I think people just, because this game can go on for a while, so I think some people just like, oh, they have other things to do, they can't stay for the whole thing. It's why I think that this game probably does need a leave option, or at least a kick. That's in addition to the assignment itself seeming rather tilted sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, the way I've seen it, like, at minimum, this game takes, like, an hour 45. Alright. For avarice, we shall now ensure that the queen is seen as a greedy pig. The final stage, we must raise the treasury to at least 2,900. So you need to add 1,000 gold to the treasury to succeed. Oh, there goes the grandee's chance to win. Spending money is easy. Oh, hey, I've got Royal Gamble. Things could still go in one particular way. I'm going to replace Iron Choice with Call for Unity. Late night visit. Missing spoons. The deceased. Your Majesty, I don't want to alarm you, but I've noticed something very peculiar recently. The spoons in the castle. They're disappearing. I've noticed that too. Maybe a harmless prank, but I have suspicions. Search the castle. Someone must be responsible. Lock up spoons outside of mealtimes. Throw away the rest of your spoons out of spite. You search up and down the castle for any trace of missing spoons, but find nothing. Spoons continue to go missing. You forbid the cook from preparing liquid meals, lest you're seen slurping from the bowl. I'm not sure what I can actually do about that. A late night visit. One evening, you're sorting through paperwork in your office when Baron Ursa Doom appears at the door, swaying slightly and stinking of booze. Your Majesty. So sorry to speak to you in this condition. Oh, ninth above, man! You're drunk! Guilty as charged! I just need to tell you. If Archbishop asks you about what happened to his hat, tell him I'll pay for a new one. I was desperate and the brief was occupied. Yep. Ursa Doom, you shat in the Pope's hat. Make a mental note to charge them for damage. Surely not a coincidence that the Archbishop arrives at your throne room the next day looking grumpier than usual and hatless. Your Majesty, there's a plague afflicting this kingdom. A curse more powerful than any wizard could cast. I speak, of course, of alcohol. People are spending their evenings in alehouses rather than in prayer. We must ban this vile vice at once. No. Fuck yourself. Fuck yourself, Archbishop. We're not... Listen. I had to hit prohibition without veto once before, and it was the worst thing. Absolutely not. Alright. So... I just want to remind you that if my stability goes down... y'all, if y'all vote for B, the Barons win. You understand that, right? Oh, wow! Wow, look at that! It was a tie! It was a tie! Ha! Wow, whoo! It was so funny how everyone voted for A! The ninth god will judge this council for condemning so many of his worshippers to temptation. The deceased. What is this? Elderly Lady Patrician Demetra, a cousin many times removed of noble patrician Caffeine Forge, died in her sleep. She was nearly 90, would you believe? Better end than most of us get. Indeed. She stayed at home in the coast most of the time, enjoying herself. But she could have spent more time on her accounts. She died without a will, and the nobles are scrabbling for her estate. Hey, Caffeine Forge! Lady Patrician Demetra was my relative. I wrote to her at least once a year. Of course the estate should be mine. My late great-grandfather used to play backgammon with her. He swore that she intended to leave it to our family. By sea and storm, that's a pitiful claim. Alright, so we can give the estate to noble patrician Caffeine Forge. We could redistribute it amongst the coastal peasants. Okay, so we could give it to Edge. Edge will raise Grandee Defiance and lower Patrician Defiance. Love a little community redistribution. I'm willing to give it to the peasants as long as it stays in coastal hands. Well, let's see. That will raise everyone's defiance. I think we should give it to Caffeine Forge. That's what I think. Because y'all, I want you all to understand something, actually. Hold on. Let me consider this for a moment. The Grandees need my treasury to be at 2,900 for them to win. So if D goes through, Grandees win. Like, just open and shut. If this goes through, the Grandees win. However, because the patricians hit rebel earlier, if my stability drops or their defiance goes up, then they will rebel, and that will set off the what do you call it? The Baron's final stage. So we have a couple options here. He keeps saying that, but I swear they need 2 more votes for rebellion. I saw the bar full when I was back at the kingdom screen. Or like the world map, whatever you want to call it. I heard the guillotine have very comfortable royal seatings around this time of year. We got rid of the guillotines. So me or the peasants will be fine, other 2 won't. Right. I think that Caffeine Forge should get it. I think the bar filled up because other coasts went AFK. Possibly. I don't know. I can't say for sure. Regardless, I believe, it is my belief, that Caffeine Forge should get the who's a what's-its. The estate. Caffeine, we can make something great with all that state for all patricians. All right, cast your votes. Oh, looks like opinions are split. Oh, and look at that! Look how it went! Wow! Incredible! Alright. South is not happy. Treasury goes up slightly. But Coast is happy. Trust the situation is resolved. What do they want? 16 total. Okay. Alright, what do we got? Trouble in the sewers. A vanity project. Irksome legacy. Chief Architect bustles into your office carrying an armful of parchment. Statues can be torn down. Paintings can be burned. Don't you think it's time you left a lasting mark on this kingdom? I propose we carve your majesty's visage into the side of a mountain. Will take dozens of artisans thousands of hours, but will ensure you'll always be remembered. Well, that does sound pleasing. I'm so glad you think so, your majesty. It'll be the talk of the kingdom and beyond. Call a vote to discuss this outrageous plan. A mountainside carved into your likeness will surely get people talking, but it'll take a lot of time and a lot of gold. All right. So, we can go ahead with the project. It'll be wonderful. The nobles can fund it. Or, this is an idea we better forget. Listen, out of the goodness of my heart, I'm gonna foot the bill on this one, folks.
Oh, you should definitely let me pay for it. Come on, like, let me do you all a solid. Why not? Look. No, don't. Listen. This is let me have something nice just for myself. All right. Oh, this will be a new wonder of Celestov. Planning starts in earnest. A mountainside is covered in scaffolding. You wait eagerly for news of the project's completion. But the work is plagued by setbacks. Stone is harder to carve than anticipated. Storms knock down scaffolds, a rock slide erases much of the work that has been done. Your Majesty, I have to admit I may have bitten off more than I could chew. I'm sure it'll work out in the end, right? Yes, of course it will! As the weeks roll past, it becomes clear that the chief architect's grand ideas will take a lot longer to come to fruition. Alright. Trouble in the sewers. Your Majesty, there is a horde of hordlings in the sewers beneath the capital. They're the ones who have been stealing our spoons. Not just the Queen's spoons either, but the whole city's. Alright, we can use toxic gas to fumigate, or block off the sewers and leave the hordlings down there. This calls for unity! I think these are different hordlings, actually. Not just the spoon, but the... Not just the spoon men, but the spoon women, and the spoon children. I really don't get why fire is not an option when we've already established that, like, you have to use fire to kill the hordlings for good. That seems like a bit of a misstep. Alright, voting is tied at 3. Or is it perfectly 50-50? You order all entrances to the sewers blocked. This proves massively unpopular, of course, as now there is nowhere else for anyone to empty their chamber pots, and the streets are soon clogged with filth. Capital must sacrifice a small luxury. You'll no longer worry about your spoons. Huh. I really... Did Call for Unity really not do anything there? That's surprising. Irksome Legacy. Your Majesty, about the treasures of the late Lady Patrician Demetra. I heard there was a necklace of rubies amongst them. Where is the necklace now? This is of the utmost importance. I'm pretty sure Caffeine Forge has it. Ah, I see. Has to be greater than 50%, can't be split even. They will have no idea of the danger. By the 9th! A frail monk in the 7th century wrote of a ruby necklace that drove those around it to sin. I believe the late Lady Patrician Demetra had it in her collection. After all this time, it may have resurfaced. She didn't sound very sinful. Grandy Edge mentioned their relative playing backgammon with her, did they not? Gambling is a sin, everyone knows that. Necklace should be destroyed. It could be tested, but the holy reagents would be expensive. You call the council to discuss the situation. Noble Patrician Caffeine Forge looks exceedingly anxious. I'm sure there's no reason to seize this necklace, Your August Majesty. Surely the High Inquisitor is mistaken. Have the necklace tested for unholy influence, ignore the High Inquisitor's concerns, or hand it over to the Inquisition.
Alright. So this would take from the treasury and shift wealth around, but would raise stability. This is a faith check, and faith is very high right now. You're faithful, right? Of course I'm faithful. Ignore the High Inquisitor's concerns. That's a stability check. I've already used my veto. And, well, even then, most of these are pretty randomized. Alright, I'm gonna leave this one up to y'all. Not a whole lot I can do about this one. What percentage is the stability check? It is a 40% stability check, a 60% faith check, or just a stat change. Alright, looks like people are going for the stability check. Oh, this could get dicey. Alright, we're ignoring the High Inquisitor's concerns on this one. You dismiss the High Inquisitor and return to your duties. However, word gets out around somehow. As wilder rumors spread, the people cling to the church for safety. High Inquisitor denies letting the story out. Faith go up! Some even say that the necklace has possessed noble patrician Caffeine Forge and taken over their soul! Grandee Edge and the rest of the Grandees are disgusted with the situation. They openly criticize your judgment in giving the estate to Caffeine Forge in the first place. Oh, that defiance is looking dangerous. Alright, auction time. We have a grand bazaar to raise trade for the barons, a cathedral for the barons to raise faith and faith, raise trade, raise authority. Alright, looks like we have a theater in the coast, an aqueduct in the coast to raise farming, stadium to lower military for the south, and a monument to raise authority for the kingdom. All right. Auction begins in 3, 2, 1. Cast your money. Oh, and it looks like the theater is taking it by storm. The people demand clowns and actors. We're going to get Monty Python's Flying Circus up in here. The aqueduct is in second place. We've got a theater and an aqueduct. Farming and farming up, authority down. Oh, follower goal met. Thank you so much for... Oh, why does it not tell me when... I thought I had it set in chat to show when I got new followers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it so much. I'll have to go through and check through that later on, because I don't have the thing. I thought I had it set to show me in chat. Ah, well. But thank you all so much. I appreciate you all being here. All right. Time's up. All right. Farming up, authority down. All right, what is going on? Irritating visitors, a rogue golem, your heir. All right, should I die? I ask that my crown be passed down to... my cousin and adopted daughter. Stability up! By designating an heir, you've cemented the stability of the kingdom. Your Majesty, may I be the first to congratulate you on adopting an heir? What is her name? Xebha 2. Praise the Ninth, Your Majesty. I'm sure little Xebha 2 will grow up to be a chip off the old block. Congrats on finding an heir. Now you just need to fulfill an ambition. Expect to hear from the Spy Master soon. Yeah, I adopted my cousin. What are you gonna do about it? Alright, irritating visitors. Your Highness, I simply can't stand it any longer. I need you to do something. What's up, Edge? Whatever is the matter? I have filthy peasants scrabbling all over my newly built cathedral, tapping the walls, bothering the priests. They've heard legends of buried treasure beneath the site. Total nonsense, of course. I need you to keep these greedy treasure grubbers off my land. Actually, these rumors might not be nonsense. After conquering the south, King Harald the Great is said to have buried a huge stash of stolen loot, spoils of war in the area. Why would he waste some perfectly good gold by burying it? King Harald had plenty of cash by that point. Presumably, he meant to come back and dig it all up one day, but he went off to invade Kurth and got himself killed. No. Monarch cannot win or progress their ambition while a rebellion is active. What are you suggesting? We could search for the treasure ourselves. Send a team of diggers to take the place apart, brick by brick, dig deep into the foundations. By the Ninth! What are you saying? That would destroy the whole place! Okay. We could take the building apart in search of treasure, which would raise defiance, lower faith. We could place sentries around the cathedral to keep treasure hunters at bay, which would lower defiance and the treasury. Or we could dig up... Can I vote? You can! Let's see how I pronounce this. Aemilius Agricola. Yes. Use the command !join, followed by your preferred pronoun, to join the game as a noble. Once you've done that, you will be able to vote. Your name can potentially show up in events, and you can cast your vote to make decisions. And thank you, by the way, for joining us today. So, take the building apart in search of treasure. This will raise Grandee Defiance, although Grandee Defiance can't get any higher, and lower faith. We could place sentries around the cathedral to keep treasure hunters at bay. That will take from the treasury and lower defiance for the south. Or we could dig up a fake treasure hoard to pretend the gold has been found. And that is a random, it looks like a 40% authority check. Hum. How do we wanna slice this one, huh? There you are, Aemilius Agricola. You're part of the Grandees. Lower faith to stall the monarch. Simple as. None of us wins if the queen wins. Are you kidding? Everyone wins if I win. Vote for A. I think a call for unity is in order. Have at it! I mean, I gotta say, y'all are saying, like, oh, the queen sucks, oh, the queen's doing a bad job, blah, 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 blah. But, like, look how much y'all are prospering!
Faith is good, farming is good, trade is good. Anyone, or do we have any votes remaining? Any remaining votes? If not, I'll get to make the choice myself. All right, I guess it's coming down to me. Oh, and there it goes. All right. Because I am so very gracious, I'm gonna place sentries around the cathedral to keep treasure hunters at bay. Treasury's looking a little dicey. Okay, a rogue golem. A rogue golem has crossed into our territory over the Ashmedian border, Your Majesty. This could be an exciting opportunity. What's a golem? A machine in the shape of a man, usually sculpted from clay or stone. The Ashmedians use them for drudge work and warfare. Why did it cross over here? It was instructed to dig a trench, but evidently not told when to stop. It had dug a 16-mile furrow that through the landscape and over the border by the time we stopped it. Please, my liege, this is our chance to figure out how this golem magic works. We could even turn it against Ashmead. Your Majesty, the barons would drown their own grandmothers to gain an advantage over Ashmead. Or over the patricians and the grandees. Golems are an offense to the ninth god, and they're dangerous. We should destroy it before it gets out of control. Oh, wow, that is a lot of random chance. So use it as a source of labor is a 50% chance. Add it to the Marcher army is a 60% chance. Take it apart to figure out its secrets is a 70% trade check. And destroy it is just a raise defiance, faith, and stability. D is not helpful for the barons. Let's see. This is the I'm taking the 50% chance off the table. I haven't used my veto this season, and that's what I'm going to put it on. So we can add it to the Marcher army, or we could take it apart. Or you could destroy it. It's your call. How do you want to slice this? Honestly, I think it would be cool if we added it to the army. Like, you gotta admit, that would be dope. Oh, wow, no one can agree. Oh, looks like the barons are going to take it. They're going to add it to the army unless someone comes in with a clever idea. Anyone? Anyone that hasn't voted? I want factories dedicated to the machine god to dot the land. Don't vote B. Oh, look, there it went! Whoa, wow! Let's take this thing apart and see what it does! Alright, the secrets of the golem have been a mystery for too long. I'll put our very best artisans to work figuring it out. A few weeks later, Baron Tyrese Wolfman reports back with a gleeful smile. Slow going, my liege, but I think we're getting somewhere. In a few months, I think we'll have it cracked. Alright, an insidious plot. The ninth god has finally answered our prayers, my friend. The council demands that the queen's advisors resign, and the queen is too weak to resist. Our replacements are waiting in the wings. Once our advisors surround the queen, we'll have complete control of what she hears. We will shape her reality. We'll treat the queen like a mushroom, keep her in the dark, and feed her. Now, let's not be vulgar. The question is, what to do with this control? Do we turn the stability into Do we turn the queen into a useless figurehead by raising stability, or do we force the queen to abdicate in favor of their claimant by raising others' defiance? I'd be fine with being a mushroom. Mushrooms are cool. I mean, A is basically what I was gonna do myself anyway. Like, my ambition was, oh, I'm gonna be a saint. Which is basically the same thing. We'll turn the queen into our powerless little puppet. Dance, puppet, dance! Sometimes it's scary how much you get into this. But yes, it's a great plan. What now? Now the kingdom must return to prosperity, and will ensure we get all the credit. Council will see this as a demonstration of our competence. We'll insist on sweeping out the old guard. At that point, we've won. For the final stage of the scheme, patricians must raise stability to at least 8. Alright. The grandees dig up a buried treasure worth 500 wealth in the desert. Yeah, Yellow has quite a bit of cash. Namara Ashina. Welcome! Thank you for joining us today. Hey, you can tax us heavily, my queen. You know, honestly, I would like to do that, Zelkaja. The problem is that the barons want your defiance to go up, and we're right on the cusp of that. Wanted to join a game of King of the Castle, and your channel looked interesting. Why, thank you! I'm very happy to have you here. You're coming in pretty close to the end game. All 3 regions are in the 3rd stage of their scheme, and it's like neck and neck. Like, it's pretty dicey right now. The patricians want to increase stability by 2. The grandees want to raise the treasury to 2,900. And the barons want everyone else's defiance to go up. Like, at this point, it's anyone's game. I've got a lot of plates in the air. Alright, that will cause defiance to break even. And, no. I cannot afford a bribe at this time. You want to give the grandees the win? Obviously not, but I also don't want to run out of money entirely. Alright, I think this is the way to go. So, remember, if anyone rebels or defiance between the patricians and grandees reaches a combined total of 16, the barons win. If stability reaches 8, the patricians will win. If the treasury reaches 2,900, the grandees will win. We are neck and neck. And this is my first ambition decision. Alright, at the start of your reign, you said you wanted to be a saint. And you're well on your way to reaching that goal. The church have never loved a queen more. Well done, your majesty. But to shut down your noble schemes for good, we need to build on that reputation. Your advisors have some ideas. Your majesty, if you help us spread the zeal of the Ninth, the church will lend our full support. With the backing of the church, the nobles won't dare to move against you. Have you heard of the Scepter of Sages? It's an ancient lost artifact forged by Queen Alma the Wise. There's a legend that says any queen who recovers it will rule over a golden age. Let's go for the Scepter of Sages. That sounds fun. A wise decision, your majesty. I'll begin sending our adventurers to track down the scepter's location. But adventurers aren't cheap. Your priority will be to raise the kingdom's overall faith and trade as much as you can. And of course, there can't be open rebellion among the nobles. Alright, Secrets of the Golems! Oh, I'm so interested in how this is going to turn out. We cracked it, Your Majesty! Golems are powered by scrolls imbued with the words of Kaldovaga, the Ashmedian machine god. We could build golems of our own, but we need to pray to Kaldovaga too. Need I even say it? Heresy! Heresy! Alright, can't do this one. Wealth is too low. Allow it, but the golem must be powered by prayers to the 9th. Allow it without restriction, or forbid it entirely. Godless behavior. Alright, people are calling for C, and honestly, I kind of agree with them. I mean, listen, look, how fucking cool is it gonna be? Vote C, abandon the 9th. Listen. I have a lot of sway in the church, you know? I'm pretty sure I can talk to the Inquisitor just a little bit. Screw the 9th. He never did my taxes. I think we should allow it. I think this is cool. Like, it's not good for my ambition, but I don't care. I think it's cool and I wanna. And also, Grandees, you want to raise my treasury? There's a little something for you. Although I am curious as to how much this will lower faith. Winter of 950. Alright, allow it without restriction. Ooh, that is a... Wow! That's a heavy-ass hit! Ooh! The church takes a massive hit when such heresy is allowed openly in the March. More and more common folk drift away from the 9th god. Oh! Military is unbeatable! Dozens of church factories are built in Kaldavaga's name, and soon marcher armies are bolstered with untiring clay giants. I don't care. I see that as a win. Alright, sigils and stones. Your Serene Highness, lamentably there have been some strange things happening at the newly built prison. But I'd rather keep it quiet for now. The other nobles can be so judgmental, I don't want them to think I don't have a grip on my prison. Yeah, I'll keep it quiet for now. Ah, Gramercy, your esteemed Highness. All odd symbols are being painted on the bricks of the prison. No one knows where they're coming from, and those who stare at them grow restless and flee. What should we do, Your Serene Highness? It's horrible for visitors. Just paint over them. Hire some peasants to give a fresh lick of paint to the prison. As soon as new symbols appear before the next dawn, they are painted over before midday. Oh, that went smoother than I expected. Hopefully this is the last we'll hear of it. Alright, and that's this season. That was easy. Golden Choice, Stop the Count, and Swing Votes. I'm liking Veto, Royal Gamble, and Call for Unity. Stop the Count is bad because of Twitch latency? Yeah, probably. I expect that, yeah. Carved symbols, printing press, and ambition.
Let's look at this printing press. Your Majesty, a blacksmith in the marsh has come up with some sort of printing contraption. Instead of relying on the painstaking effort of scribes, it produces 100 copies of text in an hour. How remarkable! Aye, my liege, isn't technology wonderful? Don't you see how dangerous this is? Books should stay in churches and universities, or else commoners will start getting ideas. Alright. We can allow the printing presses to be used by the masses. This will lower stability, authority, alter defiance, and raise trade. We could make it so only the church can use printing presses, which is a faith check. We can allow only the universities to use the printing press, which will raise stability, faith, farming, and lower authority. Or we can forbid the use of the printing press altogether with an authority check. Universal education. Alright. What does everyone think? The Queen needs faith. Vote A. Vote isn't open just yet. We're thinking on things. Give it to universities. I like books. Only university right now. Can't risk defiance getting any higher. We didn't want to burn our vineyards. Hum. You know, my point is we're on the right side of history. Yeah, I think y'all should have at this. Like, I like most of these options. I like all of these. I think all of these are good choices, and I think you're all wonderful for giving this so much thought. So have at it, folks. Make your decision. What should we do with the printing press? Wow, that is such a clean division. Like, that's super clean. Alright, looks like stability, trade, and farming are all going up, while authority go down. Quail University will be proud to take stewardship of this marvelous new technology. Over the next few months, the university publishes countless educational texts, spreading knowledge that once had been confined to its own library. It proves an immense boon to trade and farming. Common folk learn advanced techniques for increased crop and mining yields. Trade monopoly, cornucopia, opulent, bountiful, abundant. Look at all that. People are well-fed, trade is booming. Like, this kingdom is in excellent shape. Like, yeah, for real, this kingdom is fucking prosperous. We have such a powerful military with untiring golem soldiers. Everyone is well-fed. People are wealthy. The church is in a good shape. Unfortunately, it also publishes a few histories of the kingdom that don't paint the monarchy in a flattering light. Alright, let's see how this pans out now that I've tanked my faith. Most exciting news! Our hired adventurers have discovered an ancient manuscript hidden deep beneath the mountains.
It speaks of the Scepter of Sages, and it was written by Queen Alma herself. Worried about what would happen to the kingdom after she died, she hid the Scepter of Sages so her enemies couldn't find it. Good work, Treasurer! It's in a warren of caves within Blackweald Forest, Your Majesty, near to the capital. It's been under our noses this whole time. I've taken the liberty of sending out more adventurers. They'll clear the area and get inside. Hopefully it's not too dangerous. It is their job. I'm sure they'll be fine. As soon as the adventurers return, the treasurer comes to tell you the news. Have they found anything? It's proving difficult, Your Majesty. It's practically a maze down there, and the adventurers decided this wasn't lucrative enough. They've left for the kingdom of Atesh. Wow, that was an 80% trade check that failed. 80%! And it still failed. Clearly the ninth god does not favor me. Goodness. Alright, we'll have to try again. I'll see what I can do. There are plenty of others we can hire for the job. Trade can't get much higher, game. Yeah, ninth god, massive L. Carved symbols. Your August Majesty, you recall the symbols that kept showing up on our prisons and were causing people to run away? Is that still happening? Yes, but now someone's carving them. And we've discovered a network of abandoned tunnels beneath the prison itself. Tunnel walls are carved with those very same symbols. When I tried going inside, my legs wouldn't move. I could do nothing but run away. What should we do? Alright, we can hire adventurers to explore the tunnels, we can have the tunnels flooded, or we can send a scholar to live with Lady Patrician Namara Ashina, while she investigates. Almost unnatural for everyone to be doing well. Yeah, for real. Alright, we're either going to flood the tunnels, or we're going to hire adventurers. Have at it, folks. Listen, I'm trying to keep everything stable here. March has golems. We have money. Grandees have saints. It is perfect. Alright, that seems... Unless we have, 3 people to come out of the woodwork, I think that's pretty decisive. Oh! Is it gonna be a tie? Alright, I think that'll settle it. Unless we have some more people that are... Oh, well, the problem is there are a bunch of AFKs, unfortunately. Voting has closed. Whew. Money out of my pocket. Defiance is now aloof. Aha! So, we have to get into the tunnels and explode them, yes? No! That could damage the prison! Please, just be careful. Oh yes, it'll be fine. Nothing could go wrong. On the day of their descent, crowds of coastal citizens gather to watch and cheer. Adventurers do not return for some time. Well, alright then. Y'all are fighting to keep me impoverished so that the poor grandees can't get their scheme through. Meanwhile, fucking patricians have come from behind and are like almost there. Patricians only need 1 point of stability to win. A laughing stock. Uh-oh. Sanctuary. Your Holiness, there's a problem with the cathedral that was recently built in the south. A dangerous outlaw by the name of Snake Eyes McAllister was fleeing the city watch. After a decade-long crime spree, we were finally on the verge of catching him. But just before he's caught, he dives into the cathedral and proclaims sanctuary. According to the law, we can't arrest him on holy ground. The audacity of Snake Eyes McAllister to invoke holiness. How do you get that nickname?
Turned to crime after losing his life savings on a single throw of the dice. Oh, also he has snake eyes. I'm sure the church will look the other... Sanctuary? What? That's a thing? Yes, it is. The law of sanctuary is almost as old as the kingdom itself. As long as he remains on holy ground, this McAllister is a child of the Ninth, under the protection of his mercy. I will not allow you to violate that, no matter the nature of this man's crimes. By the Ninth! Right now, Snake Eyes McAllister is living the high life. Priests are feeding him roast dinners and fluffing his pillows. Okay, so... we can raise defiance and lower authority. We could repeal the law of sanctuary. That would lower faith, that would raise authority, lower faith, and lower defiance. Sanctuary is a sacred tradition and it must not be questioned. That would lower my authority. Allow sanctuary to be broken this time, just so Snake Eyes McAllister can be brought to justice. Alright, I'm calling in this one. I'm saying I'm not gonna respect the sanctity of the sanctuary law. So, we can break it just the once, or we can repeal it entirely. Your call. What about the faith? Your Highness. Listen. Listen. Part of being a devout and faithful person is knowing that sometimes you have to ask questions. Look, you don't reach enlightenment just by following a set of rules. You reach enlightenment by thinking for yourself or making the hard decisions. Faithless Golem Humper. Alright, let's see how this pans out. Succeeded! At least we won't have to worry about Snake Eyes McAllister anymore. Centuries of tradition thrown out the window, all for someone named Snake Eyes McAllister. But I suppose it could be worse. He's dragged kicking and screaming out of the cathedral and hung the next day for crimes too numerous and horrible to mention. Phew. A tunnel dweller. What ho, your majesty! We found something beneath the coastal prison. No loot, alas, but a man, sickly and pale. He claimed not to have seen sunlight for years. He's been seeking out to draw those symbols under the cover of darkness. He's saying that the symbols are protective wards to keep the building from harm. I'm not so sure. He seems harmless, but completely unhinged. Harmless? It's evil magic, that's what it is! This warlock can only be cleansed with fire! Alright. We gotta throw that symbol-obsessed fool in jail, or we can burn the warlock. Magic prison? I don't know about a magic prison. Hello, Zabilak! Thank you for joining us today. Seems harmless. You know what? I'm with the, Listen, when we heard about these symbols, they were making people, like, paralyzing people, making them scared. Hasn't seen the sun in ages. I really don't think this is a good idea. I think we gotta burn this fella. Grandies, you're with me, right? I think we gotta burn this warlock. You know what I'm saying? We ought to burn this guy. This, like, there is, no matter how you slice it, the symbols this guy has been making are bad news. You slice it as protective magic. That means good news. Alright, let's see what this stability check does. Anyone waiting in the wings to cast their vote? Don't worry, Zabilak. Your vote's been counted. There it is. Grandy's on their way to lose another vote. It's really not fair to the poor grandees. They've only got 2 people against 4 on the other sides. Alright. Despite your protests, High Inquisitor... Despite the High Inquisitor's protests, you put the coastal prison out of your mind. So do the peasants. Indeed, the artistry of the symbols becomes well known across the coast, drawing tourists and admirers. Your Majesty, the acclaimed playwright Nigel Crawlforth has written another smash hit. All the theaters in the capital are showing it nightly. So what's the problem? Problem is, the new play features a character obviously based on you. I don't like where this is going. Character is played by a professional clown named Biffo. At one point, a bucket of custard is upended on her head as she sits on the throne. Your Highness, peasants and nobles alike are watching this play. Theaters are packed. You must put a stop to all this. You can't be known as Queen Biffo. See, the problem is, I always like to attend the play myself and then congratulate the actors. Well, the problem is that doing that will raise stability, and if stability goes up, the patricians win. So I can't give it. I can't. This one time, I alas cannot hand it to him for writing a funny play. But the other problem is that's the only variation of this event I've done before. Yeah, let's put out an arrest for his arrest. A warrant for his arrest. 2 days later, Nigel Crawlforth is brought before you in chains. He's shivering in his pointy little boots. Caught him as he was boarding a ship to the Republic of Kurth. Please, your omnipotence, have mercy! Let him rot in the dungeons. How much does that raise defiance, though? I'm not gonna execute him. Let him rot in the dungeons. Rewrite my... Listen! Stop being mean to me, Nigel! Look at the prosperity of this kingdom! You are not gonna sit there and make me look bad! The peasants are satisfied and happy, people are wealthy, our kingdom is well defended, the church is happy, I've made everything good for everybody. Don't you be writing me as a clown. So you're gonna rewrite the play so that I'm a cool hero, okay? Yes, of course! I'll rewrite the role immediately. As satires go, it was a little broad anyway. Alright, that's better. Authorities now... When the play is re-released, everyone agrees that it's lost what made it special. Many of the nobles are furious that you arrested and threatened the great Nigel Crawlforth. But at least you dealt with the threat to your authority. It could be worse. Because, let's see, the barons want a rebellion to happen or 16 defiance. Right now, we're sitting at 12. Also, hello, I exit for now 7. Thank you for joining us. So we are literally still need 4 for defiance. Yeah, 12 out of 16. Alright, that does it for this season. Auction time. Alright, everyone, you must fund this prison! Alright, you understand me? If the library goes through in the coast, patricians win. You cannot let that happen. Or honestly... No! You don't need libraries! I already gave you a printing press! The books are flowing freely! You don't need any libraries! So, just to put it in plain terms, the patricians need a stability of 8 in order to win. If this goes through, and they get that library, they will win. So, not only do you
need to ensure that the library you either need to ensure that the library does not get funded at all, or you must build the prison to counteract it. Do you understand that, everyone? The prison absolutely has to go through. Alright? Everything is good, Your Majesty. Education should be a priority. No, we already have more than enough education. Alright. I'm going to start the auction now, okay? Remember, you cannot let... You absolutely, for the love of everything good, you have to make sure that this prison gets funded. Alright, auction is go now. Well, yeah, like, look, listen. Patrician No, don't split your funding. Gotta get that prison. Listen. Becoming a mushroom is the lesser of three evils. I'll take the patrician's win over the others, but I still am gonna fight for it with all that I've got. It's no fun if I just give up. Listen, if the library and the prison go through, then at the very least, it will cancel out. But if you split your funding too heavily, you'll have to beat both the library and another thing. See, this way, stability remains right where it is. Okay, what do we got? Bankruptcy looms again? Call for apprentices. Treasury is almost empty again, Your Highness. Time to crack open some tombs. Lower stability, raise defiance. Let's see. They still need 4 more defiance. So let's see if that goes to... Let's see. If I can at least get to tax season, I might be able to bribe them and get past that. Grandees will rebel at this rate. Listen, I'm not trying to be bankrupt here, but if I take the loan or the treasury option, they'll automatically win. So I have to go with crack open tombs. Buried gold isn't doing anyone any good, is it? Time to desecrate some graves! You order the royal mausoleum dug into and looted. The result is quite a bounty. Gold masks, heaps of coins, precious jewels. Not everyone is as practical as you, however. Church denounce you as a grave robber. Nobles and peasants alike are disgusted. Phew! Alright. Let's try this again. Have they found anything? Alright, they've returned from their latest expedition. Delightful news! They found it! Found a golden door which beneath the forest which matches the description in the Queen Alma's manuscript. A golden door? Break the hinges and sell it! Already tried, Your Majesty. But my servants suffered from a horrid wilting curse. I've decided to leave well enough alone. The scepter should be hidden within. But the scepter can only be found by a monarch who is strong of purpose and pure and true of heart. That's me! I'm strong of purpose and true of heart! Indeed, Your Majesty, I'm sure I agree. Unfortunately, it's not me who decides. Queen Alma wrote a ritual for the monarch to prove themselves worthy of the scepter. If you go to the cave, I can read out the relevant passages while you set it all up. You make arrangements, bringing a procession of horses, food, drinks, adventurer guides, and a little traveling desk for the treasurer to the Black-Wheeled Forest. The adventurers lead you inside the cave, holding flaming torches to light your way. Soon, the tunnel grows horribly cramped, and you bend double to squeeze through. You walk for what feels like hours. Just as you might have lost hope, you reach a golden door, exactly as the adventurers described. Alright, we'll only open for the faithful. Close your eyes, Your Majesty, and concentrate. Honestly, the last time I did my ambition, I failed an 80% check there as well, so I might lose here. Alright, breathe. Hey! A bright golden light flares behind your eyes, but you keep your breath steady. You hear the door rumble open. When you open your eyes, the tunnel ahead is utterly dark. Even the torches do not illuminate it. There's no need. My condolences, I exit for now. This game has been running for like 3 hours, and it's been tense the entire way through. Like, this has been a real nail-biter. When you open your eyes, the tunnel ahead is utterly dark. Even the torches do not illuminate it. As soon as you step into the chamber, the torches snuff out. A hideous scream echoes from below. The adventurers scramble into a protective stance while the treasurer wails. Oh, this is awful! Dreadful! I should have stayed in my office! Ah, it's fine. We're meant to be here. Sorry, I'll stay calm. You put out your hand and feel your way along the wall. Then your fingers touch something. Could this be it? As you grip the scepter, it glows gold, chasing away the dark shadows of the chamber. I'm glad to hear that, JF Lanero. I cannot recommend this game enough. It is such a fun, like, if you like story-based games, like, I've described this as, I would describe this as the best Game of Thrones game to ever exist. Because this game has, like, the storylines in this get just as wackadoo stupid as some of the shit in Game of Thrones. That is one of the drawbacks of joining late, is it can be hard to keep track of what all is going on. It looks like a simple wooden staff like any peasant might use for walking, but the glow is as bright as the sun. It's the scepter! Your Majesty, you've done it! First things first, I'm eliminating poverty! Goodness! Well, we must call the nobles first and tell them the good news. Bearing the scepter, you make your way through the tunnels and break into sunlit forest. As soon as you return to the capital, you call the nobles to the council hall. I'm gonna let them sweat a bit. Take some time to have the servants fix your hair, polish your crown, just a few little things to make the queen feel special. Then you stroll into the hall. The treasurer holds a velvet cushion upon which the scepter of sages sits. It looks small and ordinary, but you sense the weight of its history. Behind you, your heir, Xebha II, toddles along, hand in hand with her governess. What's going on, Your Highness? Why have we been brought here? I wanted to call you for a little chat. The nobles fall silent as you ascend to your throne and settle yourself comfortably. Queen Xebha has descended to the darkest depths of the Blackweald Forest and has retrieved the Scepter of Sages. Excited and worried whispers ripple around the council hall. As bearer of the Scepter of Sages, the Queen has sealed her destiny as Queen Xebha the Enlightened. How do we know it's real? It could be any old staff. I pick up the scepter. The scepter begins to glow, bathing the council hall in warm gold light. The nobles gasp and fall silent. Beside you, Xebha II claps her hands in delight. It becomes clear that even the grumpiest of nobles will never dare speak against you while you bear the scepter. Finally, you are secure in your throne and your kingdom. Your victory is here, but your future has only just begun. Hey! No fear, Scepter of Sages. The barons withdrew support, and the wave of popular momentum behind General Victoria petered out. She is soon just another bitter old soldier, ranting that she could have been the queen. In a sun-dappled vineyard, Xenoviva and Soft Pancakes 42 open a bottle of their finest vintage. Their schemes had amounted to nothing, but there's always next time. The patricians' attempt to replace the queen's advisors never panned out. One night, noble patrician Belades I awoke to find a smiling spy master holding a knife to their throat and kindly asking them to desist. I'm sure Belle is into that. Backed by the scepter's power, Queen Xebha's rule spanned another 15 years of peace and stability. A golden age of prosperity swept over the kingdom. In her will, the queen instructed the scepter be reburied, to be claimed only by a worthy successor. Not into it, but amenable. Queen Xebha the Lawgiver! Unmarried, but I adopted my heir. Game length 3 years, 6 months. The wealthiest noble was Edge, who I think checked out early. Poorest noble was JF Lanero. Final Kingdom stats. Oh, there's my Authority 5, Stability 8, Treasury 1900. Final stats. Trade was 8-8-10. Farming was 8-10-7. Military was 10-5-3. Faith was 4-9-7. And Defiance was 4-7-1. Want to know what was annoying? We would have won if my fund went through. Ain't that just how it is? See, I didn't have any influence over the auction. Like, I can't control when the auction closes. That's all on, like, the nobles. Yeah, that would have been a completely fair win. Like, I wouldn't have been mad if the patricians won. Like I told you, I'm God's favorite. Alright, now that we're done, alright. See you next time, Zelkaja. Thank you for joining me. I would like to thank all of you for joining me today. This was a lot of fun. So, yes, that is it. This is the end of the game. You have to understand, I've been at this for 3 hours. Any given run of King of the Castle will go for a long time. Now, I believe I got some new followers, so I am going to just double check and see. So, if you would allow me just one moment. Okay, Amelius Agricola, I exit for now, JF Lanero, Ursa Doom, and Tyrese Wolfman. Thank you all so much for following. I appreciate it so much. Every King of the Castle game I join and stream as soon as I get there. Aww. I know that feeling. I am familiar with that feeling. That's happened to me a couple times. Fortunately, if you want to have future reference, I do my streams every, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I've been making a pretty decent habit of playing this on Saturdays in particular. Next up, I'm planning to start playing Alien Isolation and Darksiders 2 this coming week. With some more Against the Storm after it has a update scheduled for the 11th, so I'm gonna check it out after that goes live. So let's see. Probably Darksiders on Tuesday, Darksiders 2 that is. Then Against the Storm on Thursday the 11th when the new update comes out, and potentially Alien Isolation or another round of King of the Castle on Saturday. It's gonna be busy. So, that's gonna wrap it up for today. I would just like to thank you all
again so very much for joining me today. It actually started pretty slow, and I was worried I might have to just call it quits early, but I'm glad that I stuck it out. I'm glad you could all be here. I had so much fun, and I hope you did too. Good night from Sweden. Well, good night to you in Sweden from the United States. Ooh, I'm gonna start streaming so I control the time we end. Yeah, good idea. I mean, that's what I did. Good morning from Australia. Good morning, Australians. I'm so glad you could be here. Okay, well, as I said, it's been 3.5 hours, and I've got to check in on the puppy. I should probably get some more to drink. I should walk around and stretch a bit. Thank you all again so much for joining me. And I hope to see you again next time. I'll blah, 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 blah. Talk. Words. I'm so excited. I hope to see you all again next time, or any other time when I'm streaming. And I hope you all have an excellent day, evening, morning, night. Whichever. Till next time, everyone. Bye-bye, and thank you again. And there you go. Bye-bye.